Florida State just landed a 4-star, big-time wide receiver commit in Brandon Bennett from American Heritage. Tell me about the kid, Coach AB.
Yeah, this is a pretty good get. I guess they were kind of competing with Florida. You see, he's got some Florida, some Georgia, Alabama. Florida's not listed on here, but he did OV to Georgia. Florida was thought to be a threat. So he's a 4-star out of American Heritage down in Fort Lauderdale, 6', 170, 4-star on the composite and a 4-star on the 24/7 rankings, which is not something we always see when we talk about players in the Florida State class. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good player. We're going to look at his film as we usually do. He's a true deep threat guy. I think he runs a 10-400, which is a pretty good time. It's kind of one of the things everybody's been discussing when they've been talking about him. So I say we just get right in the film, let the film do the talking.
Yeah, with this height and weight, you're kind of looking for somebody that can take the top off a defense. You know, we talked about it at nauseum last year, and you saw how sometimes that track speed doesn't necessarily make you an elite wide receiver, but hopefully we can see some tools in this film that kind of points to a higher upside.
Yeah, you're looking, is there nuance to his game, to his speed? Does he have different gears? You know, the ability to kind of set the deep ball up if that's what he's going to be. And then is he physical? Like we've seen with some deep threat guys where they can't run through, you know, arm bars from corners and things like that. They kind of get knocked off the route and that takes that speed away. So that's some of the things I'm going to be looking for. You see there, I mean, he's got a good explosive step there at the top of that route and is able to separate. We'll go back to the beginning here.
So this first play is reminiscent of a few years ago. FSU Boston College, Pokey Wilson gets a big play off this kind of motion wheel route.
The block. Yeah, he was setting up the block, just get the corner to kind of stop his feet, and then he's got the speed to run away.
Yeah, I mean the speed's clearly there. I mean he's outpacing all these kids. This is pretty decent competition in South Florida.
Yeah. I like this route. I like at the top, at the apex of the route, he's able to stick his foot in the ground on the post route and be explosive out of it.
Yeah,
there's a subtle move to the outside to try to get the corner to open his hips.
Right. It's about leading the corner to believe that you're not going to be going straight, or that you're going straight and then you break off. Right. You can't round those routes. We saw last year the wide receivers rounded routes, and it kind of bit them in the butt against better corners who could read that. That route was a little bit rounded, but I mean that could have been a bender. You know, some routes are designed to be rounded. There's a jet.
Thinking we'll see that in the Gus Malzahn offense.
Yeah, I mean that's easy speed. He was walking in the zone.
Yeah, it's almost effortless for him. All right, so he's got some kick return stuff too, which you like to see. Always looking for explosive plays in special teams and return games specifically. He's going to outrun that angle. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm kind of the opinion that you know, when you're in a position like FSU's in, where you know, you might not be getting the highest 5-star every class, getting people like this, getting players like this who have high upside based off physical traits, based off this speed. I mean, this is someone that you can develop, and like someone you got to be happy about taking with a class as kind of a very specific role in a Gus Malzahn offense.
Yeah, and one of the things we talked about when we've talked about Gus Malzahn is the one thing he brings to your offense is an identity. They are clearly recruiting guys to fit the Gus Malzahn offense in the system. These deep shot play wide receivers. That's what he is here. I talked about earlier being able to play through a little bit of contact. You're going to see the attempt to armbar here by the corner. He kind of runs through that, which is nice. He fights through that. So he's not a guy that's going to be easily thrown off his route. You can see the flag on the field. There's some hand fighting again. He's going to run through that and run by it.
Yeah, I mean, the speed's natural, exciting.
Physical. Yeah, speed is really exciting. He's got some physicality too in his game. Here again, he's being held. He runs through it, gets to his route anyway. I mean, you like to see that determination to play through physical cornerback play. He's running a little bit of a going to run the now screen or the triple option as we've talked about it in Florida State terms. And again, you just get in the ball in space, he's going to make something happen. Where's he at? He's down here.
Yeah, I think you're trying to get him on a nickel, trying to get him on a safety, trying to use that speed. I mean, hopefully he's opposite of a, you know, a taller receiver who can kind of um, take his own guy, right? You're trying to split the safeties and maybe loosen up the run game. So
He reminds me of Squirrel White a little bit. We've seen him get him on some deep crossers, give him some two-way goes against safeties and nickels, put them in a hard place to, determine what he's going to do. I think he probably fits it like the 2 wide receiver for Florida State. So that's the guy that's going to be the 9 is the guy that's on the ball into the away from the strength of the formation. He's going to be the guy that's kind of off the ball to the strength of the formation. They'll be able to move him around. You'll be able to help him against press coverage by having him off the ball, moving him about in motion. I mean, I like the fit. I think it's a good fit. I think it's a good take. They need more speed and explosiveness in this offense. Guys that can get down the field and take some coverage out of the run fit game, which is something you're looking to do with a guy that can run like this. So, what are your general thoughts, Kev?
yeah, I think Gus Malzahn's offense, I think this kind of even Mike Norvell's offense works at its best when you have a Johnny Wilson and a Pokey. You know, when you have a bigger bodied deep threat guy and a higher speed deep threat guy. And you saw last year they struggled because they didn't have the bigger bodied guy. If you're looking for someone to be that kind of speedster, I think this guy's got the tools. Whether or not he's going to develop into the guy is yet to be determined, but I think he's got the abilities that make you excited that he could possibly be that guy. In terms of other things, I would have liked to see kind of a few more route running examples. I mean, we really just saw him run a post, a now screen, and a go. I would have liked to see him show off a little bit more agility in space, a little bit more change of direction, but his deep threat, his deep speed fits this system, and that's why you get him. And I think that's a good fit.
Yeah, I agree. And as we're going to close this out here, I would remind everybody, first, thank you to our Noles247 subscribers. I would remind everybody that this is going to be VIP for the first 24 hours. So you're getting it first, and then it'll be open up to everybody. If you are looking for a Noles247 subscription, remember XS Noles, that's XSNOLES 24/7 for 50% off of an annual subscription. I would welcome everybody to sign up as recruiting season. I know everybody's going to roll their eyes right now, but it is heating up with official visits, and you're going to get the best news for all that and the coverage. I dropped a pancakes and hot takes article this week for the VIPs. Kev's got one coming up. We are trying to up our VIP action on the Noles247 website. So again, XS Noles 24/7 for 50% off an annual subscription at the Noles247 website. Get over there, join the family, join the club, get interactive with Kev, me, Trey, everybody. And yeah, this is exciting to talk about a 4-star commit.
I was negative at the end, but this is a really exciting take with a really high upside. That 10-4 speed plays in college.
Yes, it does. And as Trey would say, keep chopping.